Soviets and Soviets of the Red Army, how are you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Ru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, today we go to Shchedrin to see a lovely little matchup with a lovely little river meandering through. Rank, who's fighting, and with what?
On the left-hand side, in the blue, we have Xiru playing as Ringtown with Maverick income. And on the right-hand side, we have an alien gun, a Xenon gun, playing Second Guard Tank Corps with Vanguard income.
Well, he certainly is a general of the 21st century, that's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, Windhound, we know what to see here, but I guess a $64,000 question, or adjusted for inflation, is does the Windhound division actually do well on this map?
Okay, the town? No. The hills and up north? Maybe. But I definitely give us more towards second, as they usually have just a bit more infantry spam in general, and on this sort of map it's pretty important. With Ringtown you do have good medium tanks, and you got the Panthers, which is nice. But Second Guard Tank Corps has many T-34-85s, and they want them on the other side, preferably in Berlin in a year.
I'm sorry, I was entranced by the way the sun is hitting the water right now.
Oh yeah, I
Oh
see it too on
man.
my screen. It's really quite beautiful.
It's so calm. It's strange to think that this battlefield will soon be alive with the sounds of gunfire, but
Hmm.
c'est la vie or c'est la guerre. Um, so we're gonna see actually looking at the force spread here. I can't help but feel that Zuyukari is almost giving up the town in the south. Maybe a small holding force to kind of make sure things don't get too egregious.
It's
But
probably the best idea. You just do not have the infantry capabilities of Ringtown to do a solid town fight.
no, you certainly do not. And yes, very early on we actually have quick deployment. Wow. Oh, the Machiki from that middle prong for the Soviets are not being very aggressive at all.
Oh yeah, just slapping them in the forest for defense.
Kind of a weird thing. I would think you would want to have more long-range material for that. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I would agree. I think he just wants to just hold at the top of the hill and not actually like shoot down from it, like put pressure from the hill. You catch what I'm getting at.
I think I do. I think I catch what you're getting at.
Thank you. You need a pretty big net most of the time.
Hey man, you know what? That's why we have the internet. Um, Horrible jokes aside, we're gonna actually see three flags, I think, very quickly turn.
Oh
Oh,
god
I
damn it.
was waiting for the PTRS, or not the PTRS, but the guard squads up north to turn that entire line red. But it seems not to be the case.
Oh.
However, there is a battery of fire that's gonna be. Oh my God, there's four IG-18s.
This is Napoleonic like siege cannon stuff here. It's like playing Total War Empire.
On my signal, unleash hell.
Yeah. There we go. But yeah, I mean, Zero, he's playing his best bet, and that is just try to put heavy pressure up north. He's got the Panther, he's got the crazy infantry support gun spam. I mean, if he loses to the Panther, he's not going to have a good time, so it really all hinges around that one tank. But damn it, T-34 just got slacked.
Yes, he did. Now down to the south, the story is kind of the reverse, though, too.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, this is human wave tactics at its best. We joke about that sometimes with the Russians, but good lord, this is a mess.
It's true. It's honest to God true. How you play Russians in SD2. Especially just look at all these guards. Zero just does not have a hope in hell in holding that town. He might be able to just hold like the southern tip of it, that one flag, but good luck fighting over the rest of it unless he brings in some like rocket arty.
But the funny thing for me, he's got this basically 2-3 force being brought on in, and
Mhm.
against all of those PTRSs and PTRDs and all, even just the heat grenades, it's not going to go well.
Yeah, he's gonna wanna like park quite a distance away from that town with those support guns. And if these infantry go down, those 2-3-4s are just gonna be worthless as they can't see anything.
No, these are recons.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, he's invested every last one of his 2-3 force into here.
Oh god, he's just
The autocannons, the anti-tanks.
Dude, Zero K is a very all or nothing guy, and I'm really enjoying this so far.
Well, the Soviets are like, hey, dude, so let's reinforce what we got going on here. Razvedka's guard squad, another T-34 being brought on in. By the same token, to the north, his troops are getting absolutely bitch slapped. Yes, they are making some casualties here and there, but this is not the kind of thing you want to have happening as the Soviets on such a close-in, knife-fighty kind of map.
Yeah, this definitely feels like it's going to be one of those games where one side pushes heavy one flank, the other pushes a heavy another flank, and it's just going to be who can, you know, make the strongest punch and hold their flank, well. It's kind of like, like those like fairground games where you like hit the punching bag and it tells you how hard you hit it.
Yes, I thought you said
It's
a
like
very different word there for a second. I was kind of like, Rang, we can't say those words on this kind of thing. But, yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. It's one of those things where you think, okay, well, who can hit harder and for longer?
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it definitely looks like it's going to be Xenon.
Yeah,
I mean, he's definitely
just
shoving Zirikari just like absolute craziness.
just that town is pretty much just like free real estate for second guards. Yeah, Zero is bringing in some more infantry, but just a few pioneers. Really, not much going on here. It's really going to rely on the vehicles, but all of his vehicles are kind of dying because he's getting them a little bit too close to the town car, and I don't like it.
Well, the good thing is for us, we don't have to like it. We just have to report on it.
Yeah,
So,
that's very
we
true,
already see.
actually.
Oh my gosh, there's a P3L right there. Don't put that poor guy right there. He's too young. His
He has a
golden years shouldn't
Panda
have to go through
family at
this.
home.
Yeah, exactly. Two
Little
more.
baby P1. His Rife P2.
I would say he just had his first kid, but he's kind of an older tank, so we're surprised he had a child at all. Riffing off our P4 comments from last match. Now, one thing that is going to play into their benefit is the fact that these half-tracks are coming with just enough additional rifle support that might be enough to keep the guards at bay.
Yeah, Zero can at least hold the edges of the town, because that's when the fire support vehicles can really come into play. But pushing into the heart of the area, good luck. Good luck.
The thing that's always confused me, there we go. I was like, we should
go.
be seeing some mortars. Finally, at long last, we see a mortar track coming on in. But with all the other claptrap kind of going around here, I don't think that those town hunters are going to find themselves in a very good position for quite a while.
I do like how IG-18 situated north of the town. It's probably going to die in like a minute or two. But, it's good trying to get another angle on that area.
Well, yeah, he was engaged in that T-34-76 with the kind of expected results of that.
Yeah.
But here's something interesting. We have one guard squad that's kind of closed off from everything else, and I think Xiru might have just been able to stabilize the situation.
It's just barely. He's brought just enough infantry to hold his down. Xenon is trying to push out the town now, but with only one T-34, it's not going to work all that well, as his infantry can't get close enough to really deal with the Panzers.
Turret stuck? I mean, he's just critting him like crazy, but dude, you can't play with your food. You have to kill it.
Yeah.
And there comes
Lots
the
of
mortars.
holes.
Is that a 2-star? It's a 1-star. Okay. Early yak coming on in. We have two more M42, 45 mils. He's definitely, well, he wants to beat on that P3L. I don't know if it's really the greatest idea, but sure, why not?
Yeah, it seems a little bit silly to go for that. And now he's gonna pay the price.
Crew killed. He played with his food, and that's what happens.
Didn't put enough holes in that T-34 fast enough.
But let's not forget to the north, we do have that guard squad, the Ogden Machiki they could put in there. Those guys are dead and gone, Jim. They are never coming back. And it looks like we're going to see probably a surrender here any second? No? Okay, a death is just as good as a wink in that case.
Oh, look, his furball down south here. It's actually a very engaging dogfight here.
I wasn't paying attention for a second. Oh, because they don't want to go too close either, because there still is a couple of anti-air pieces in the town. The disc is going to get shot up by this peaker, and here it comes.
Hooray!
Did anything... Okay, I was going to say, did anything actually go down here? Well, that's one. Other ME-109, he's got to the weapons jammed. I don't think that guy wants to be there.
Yeah, Act 9 sort of maybe flew
Oof.
away a long time ago.
There's a T-34-85 in the town. He's beating on these pioneers. But all we gotta have happen is to see a little bit more stress going on.
Yeah, well, Xiru's doing a very good job holding that southern side, considering his division. Up north, things are actually going pretty well for him. He has managed to take the northern hill on the enemy side, and as well as the far northern hill. Not completely under his control, but he's very close.
Well, it's been seesawing back and forth, and it's one of those things that this P3L has lost a driver. This has been the worst part, I think, about his first engagement here. But he's definitely helped out by the fact that, as tough as these superior are, they are not in range to throw their TNT. Which is always so weird to me, that kind of thing actually happens.
Yeah. I always feel like if SMGs and TNTs, personally, they should be buffed to 120 meters.
I can certainly see that. Now the charge does get off. The question, does it kill? No. It's 15-9 all of a sudden. As now, actually, what the heck? Where'd all the Soviet infantry go?
That's a... Where did they... This is like Res Rodo. I have no idea, Khan.
There's a Panzerbücher coming in down south. Oh my gosh, I have such a... These things are so cute.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in quite a while, so that's cool.
It certainly is.
Yeah, real good, like, tank AT... really good AT gun to bring into a town. You can just cover roads and everything.
Now, unfortunately, we are going to see up to the north as T-34-85 is going to beat on a 234. Yep. And that's why they don't bring an autocannon to an MBT fight. But, each their own, I suppose.
Yeah, it does seem like Xiru, he has got a lot of ground so far up north, like very important flags under his control. But I felt like he's kind of stopped now. He doesn't really have much more momentum. He's probably going to lose his like middle northern hill as the C-34s come in, as he has absolutely zero AT to deal with him.
That's true, but we just did hit Phase B, so this is where he should be coming into his own. You can see him right now. He's not deployed anything immediately, which tells me we're going to be seeing some big cats pretty damn soon.
Yeah, probably some Panthers. Xenon actually got a big tank of his own, bringing an ISU-152, but it's not really in the position to do anything at the moment. I actually have no idea what he's going to do with it.
Well, we are going to see a 45 mil is doing some damage over here to this Panther A. Transmission damaged. At the same time, the Soviets are desperate to take this town back. 4 squads of Superiors, 2 more tanks. Excuse me, 5 squads of Superiors. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but I certainly tip my hat to that brave soul.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really surprising. Xiru's man's completely clearing out that town, and now he's pushing through. I do feel like Zaporizhzhia will be enough forever to deal with the Pantograns. It's really just going to come down to how well Xiru can utilize his mortars and tanks down south.
Well, here's I think that the provision we have to think about. If that 37 mil gets taken out, then airplanes can come in and strafe, and I think that would set things very much in the favor of the Germans as opposed to the Russians.
Yep, that's a pretty good point.
To the north, we are going to see more T-34-76s. You said about that hilltop falling. Well, I think we desperately need to see some more Russian infantry in there first. Those tanks are awfully gun-shy about going in against stuff that might have some AT weaponry in there too, which I can't blame him.
I mean, it's already like pretty risky just having them in there for so long without any infantry support. Very lucky for him, yeah. You know, the infantry up here don't have AT capabilities.
True. Which is one of those things, like, I always feel like I look at the German divisions, and whenever I go against them, I'm thinking to myself, like, does this infantry really have what I should be terrified about, or can I be a little bit more aggressive? We see
Mm-hmm.
right now, for example, this PTRS is just blowing holes in this P3L, which is just, again, it's always so painful to watch stuff like that happen.
Yeah.
Soul crushing.
But the P3 is going to respond in kind, however. He's really responding, but the PTRS is not liking the message.
Yeah, yeah.
And P3 and T-34s in the town, a classic battle, and it's probably going to go to the T-34.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to have a real fair fight when your loader's been killed.
Yeah. I think a real problem with those P3s in towns is that you don't turn off your APCR shells, and you really kind of need to just use regular AP, as the APCR has less of a chance of completely making a tank go kaboom on the first shot.
Yes.
Yeah. Even
Now,
some,
interestingly, we have that push coming through the forest is certainly reversing momentum.
yeah,
But please.
yeah, it's gonna be like a pretty good position to hold on to for Xenon, because once you hold that hill, you can pretty easily start putting pressure up north and try to kick Xiru off of his hill.
And anti-air goes down, so there's no anti-air. I think the second that Xeru knows that, we're going to start seeing a lot more investment.
Yeah.
Almost as devastating, though, is the Panther A up on the top of this entire thing. Oof, and this Pac 40. This Soviet push, yes, they've killed the infantry, but that's not quite enough.
That's a great position for the Pac 40. Absolutely fantastic.
We've seen some really, really strong positioning of AT guns on these last couple of matches.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, the AT gun goes down, unfortunately for him.
Hey, man, great positions cause great danger, so...
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we're gonna have a gutsy Panzer Shrek coming in. Oh, it's gonna be delicious. He's gonna try to get in. He's gonna have a good amount of stealth. IS-152 is not gonna see him.
Oh yeah, yeah. Today he should have a pretty decent chance. Maybe the guard squad will spot. No, he can't. I really want to see his Panther Shrek blow his tank up. That'd be extremely satisfying.
Question is, okay. The guards are just. Oh no, he's been seen. Because those guards have a ton of line of sight there. All right.
Yeah.
Superior to the south. Oh, I failed to make the call out before, but we did actually have an off-map call-in. And you can see right now the devastating effect that's being used. Just 150, just these itsy bitsy little artillery shells here. But regardless, that's going to be more than enough to send the Russians fleeing. And even with this PE2 coming on in to drop a ton of bombs, I don't think that's going to be enough to reverse this entire position.
I'm really surprised how well Xiru has been playing this town. I probably underestimated him Ringtown's ability quite a bit in town fighting, but Xiru's making it work, man. There's more to half tracks, and off-map artillery is really paying dividends.
You know what? I think what you say, though, is totally fair. It's the same kind of comment I was thinking to myself with this. Windhound is not... It's like a dog. You gotta let it run outside. It's not something to be kept inside of a town.
That's true. That's very true. Gotta let those Panthers and Panther Frees have free space.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
Now... Okay, there we go. So a 37 mil's been brought in finally, and Adushka is firing at him. Surprised not going to see some sort of like ground attack order here, but whatever. That being said, some of these Studebakers are coming forwards and getting taken out by just machine gun fire, and those aren't losses you can take.
Yeah. You don't want the guys to die before they get to the front line, but Xenon is starting to get a bit more momentum back in the town. He's got the T-34 spam and the infantry spam, and those are two things that you need. Actually, same time Xiru is getting some pretty good snipes here with his Panther 3. And
yep.
Yeah. It's pretty much been like one-to-one trades, it feels like, for T-34, 76ers versus P3s.
Well, one thing that we've kind of neglected to mention, even though I think it's something that's been fairly self-evident, is that tanks have quite an aversion to town fighting, and you can just jam in enough anti-tank with like P-Shreks or things like that. It's gonna be more than enough to kind of keep them at bay, at least for long enough. You see right now, it's 17-7. You just gotta make sure you can hold them off for 6 minutes.
It's really quite crazy how many flags Xiru has captured. Like, it doesn't feel like 17-7 in terms of
No, I know
the
it.
map, but this southern town has so many flags. They're so valuable. I guess up north too.
Very, very true. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like the Russians are taking the right junctures in this town. Oof. Yeah, here comes a TOT barrage, and I think we'll take the Shrek in for a cheeky snipe, maybe.
Yeah. What Xenon really needs down south is some goddamn artillery. And also not to run tanks into a Panzer Shrek.
Yes. Yes. Now, to be fair, those two guys did sneak forward on their own. Another PE2 run to the north, looking to take out those Pioneers in that saddle between the two hills. This is going to go very, very poorly for them. But they knew they were getting into. They knew the costs.
They knew
Goodbye.
the risks of being on-tier Pioneers.
Certainly the case. Here comes the artillery. Luckily for the Soviets, it did not impact to the north. That could have been absolutely awful immediately. Still devastating. Don't get me wrong.
God, that off map. It's already so surprising how off map can be so devastating.
Well, the question is, are they able to capitalize on it? This is when I take that half track and I charge it in. I don't care.
Yeah, guns jammed. I don't. Yeah, you can force them to throw out the right flag.
Heck, even those Pioneers could have been in more than enough. Looks like it's not going to be too long. Yes, sir?
Just something, yeah. But Xenon is going to be able to run away to fight another day.
Last barrage, though, is going to be called in just shy of that bridge, and it's going to hurt just as much because the Russian infantry is going to come off of falling back and get hit immediately.
That's real creeping fire tactics, right? Yeah.
Almost as terrifying as that Panther G is just sniped. I think was it a KV-1?
Oh,
was
damn.
T-34, 85 was huge.
It's like 3 Panther G's down south. It just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Hey man,
Yeah,
that's what the Maverick income does. And we have a 380 being brought on in as well. Oh my god.
Oh god, yeah. Artillery does go up to that size.
It's like a Carl Gustav or something like that.
Yeah, I know, what's it called? Hermann Goring has a 600 mil. It'd be really cool if we could see that. So just someone, for the love of God, give us a Hermann Goring replay. We really want to see those guys in action, but there really hasn't been any replays.
Scared to play them ourselves.
Oh. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But seriously, if you guys have a good Hermann Goring, like Faustjager Panzer Division replay, please send it in. We really want to see it.
Tenko Desantniki being thrown in. This is the last hurrah. Yeah, you can take out those recon armored cars and stuff like that, but you know, when all is said and done, you can't take losses like that. And Tenko Desantniki, they're not going to turn it around by themselves.
And those 3 Panthers down south, they can just kind of stop anything from coming into the town. So that's pretty much game over for the town.
It, yeah.
Yeah, if they just move up a little bit. But yeah, Xiru, this is a pretty good Runeterran play. Just, I mean, you know, Maverick King comes, spam the Panthers, and it's worked. And also all the infantry and artillery and all play he's been doing. ISU does go down in mid.
I honestly haven't been paying attention to them. Seeing those bombs drop on those poor peak ends is going to take them out pretty easily. Yep, 2 squads. That PE2 has been very much a value-added plane.
Yeah, it's actually been doing pretty good work. Really making up for the lack of artillery that Xenon has.
Which is weird, because doesn't the second guard get a good amount of that?
Yeah, you got SU-76s, you got mortars, you got Katyushas. There's definitely, like, no excuse to not have some artillery out, especially in a town fight. Because right now, all he's been doing is just throwing stuff head-on against, you know, well-rested morale infantry. You really want to, you know, stress them out and then attack.
As you can see right now, Tenko Desantniki being thrown on in. Those guys have no anti-tank whatsoever. Yes, these guards have a PTRD, Um, still not something I really want to be going into.
Hmm.
There's a brave Falcon, but cheeky holding the line against a Pigren. Oof. Oof.
One guy holed up in that farmhouse, and now he's dead.
Wow. Okay, so we have one final PE2 run going after these Panthers. He might kill one. Maybe.
These are the smaller bombs. Actually pretty meh.
Well, the Möbelwagen, and I don't think we're going to see this final artillery barrage unless somehow the Russians get super lucky here. Really fantastic play over here from Xenon. This is not, excuse me, from Xiru. This is not a matchup he really could have won that handily in the town.
No,
he shouldn't have. I don't even know. Like, that was just very well done.
Yeah, but I feel like Xenon really, like, I said it a few times in the replay, but, like, he just needed some artillery to help out in that town fight. Because he had it, like, hook, line, and sinker during those first, like, 5 minutes, Khan.
That's true.
Steamrolled through, but he just couldn't make that last, little leap to fully capture said town. Also, Xiru did do a pretty good job of putting pressure up north, which definitely diverted resources from it. But, yeah, looking at, like, that's a double KD difference, so...
Well, there's one Panther's got 4 kills, there's another Panther's got 6 kills. Those are the big value people here. And again, let's not forget those off-map call-ins. They only got 1 kill apiece, but the amount of just morale damage was absolutely immeasurable.
Priceless.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, that's how you... Like, it's a really good example of how to fight over, like an infantry fight when you don't have the infantry deck. And I know we've been saying Rintown doesn't have infantry, and it may not seem like it in the replay, but seriously, you just do not have much infantry cards or slots with them. But yeah, you just use a few amount of infantry that you have, maybe bring off in half tracks to help bolster your forces, use a good amount of artillery to stress them out, and 5 support tanks to back you up, and then you just, let everything apart from the infantry do the killing, and then you move up the infantry just to spot stuff.
True. And then you go to Pound Town.
And then you go to Pound Town with all the calibers that you can think of. The more calibers, the better. The bigger, the better.
Certainly very true. But folks, with that in mind, let's just have a quick handover here for both of our players in this match. Maybe a little bit more for Xiru this time around, but well done to both. Any last thoughts there, Rang?
It was a very exciting match.
Wow.
I know.
That's true. It was beautiful, man. You should, do you write your own material?
No, I have a ghostwriter.
Okay. Hopefully he just continue to haunt at the corners after this.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as my puns. But folks, with that in mind, in that case, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you all next time. Until then, I'm Con Ulrich.
And Rangaroo, take it easy.